guess this is episode 5, and we're starting out. We're taking the ferry across the Hawksburry River, I guess, and then heading up the other side, up north through the park. I will post the name of that park. I can't remember it offhand. So yeah, beautiful, lovely morning, and happy Australia Day. Yeah, it's kind of like Canada today, but Australian. This is cool. Well, we're going to be in a bunk group of traffic to start.
Give them a little time.
Yeah, have to rip ahead. Nice time to have a vape. Charge the old Subaru up. These ferry crossings are pretty common when you get into the bush areas as soon as you're out of the city. Quite a few estuaries kind of wind inward quite far from the coast. So this river, the Hawksburry, actually has a bit of a current, and it's got quite a sizable tide sometimes. It's kind of interesting. So today's topic is going to be, people are looking at me like I'm weird here. So today's topic, we're going to talk a bit about quitting smoking, I think. And I got tiptoeing up on a month here. I got about 3 weeks of no smoking. I was quite a heavy smoker before. Pack a day, which gets really expensive in Australia. It's, you know, your standard.
Continue straight onto Wiseman's Ferry Road.
Sorry if you're gonna get a little bit of GPS information here, unfortunately. So yeah, quitting smoking, it's a hell of a thing. You know, I've tried a few times and actually kind of had a little bit of a health concern with it, and it's starting to really affect my health. So quitting, I've immediately seen my, in 3 weeks, I've seen my blood pressure drop down to normal, quite a bit more energy. The downside is you feel like crap kind of for a few weeks, on and off. You get sick and nausea, headaches, whatever. That's starting to pass now that I find in week 3. I've been using e-cigarettes to kind of, or vaping, to kind of take the edge off. I do have gum. I think it's, yeah, we take a right here. Yeah, that's a right. Alright, we'll get cruising here and then we'll get back talking about it. So, a couple ways, you know, there's obviously the gum, there's lozenges. I find the gum kind of useless because you can't chew it. It'd be nice if you could actually just chew it, you know, so I think we unload first. Alright, alright. Everyone's keen on this beautiful Australian morning, do some cruising. This is gonna be a nice, nice little section here. And I think it's center first, I believe is the etiquette here. Well, I guess it bottlenecks into the... It's like a Hot Wheels course when it would run the one car off. What's happening? Okay, so that's not the etiquette. Alright, be that way then. I'll have the window open for a little bit just so we get a bit of engine sound and then
Continue on Wiseman's Ferry Road for 50 kilometers.
as always, we like a little engine noise, and then we'll close it so we can hear me talk a little bit better. Oh wow, this is nice. Right next to the river. It'd be a windy road. It's not super high speed or anything, but it'll be nice and scenic. And anyway, so back to quitting smoking. So yeah, you kind of feel like shit for a few weeks, which is kind of like, you know, they should really warn people more about, like, you really do go through withdrawals. You know, it really is, you realize how strong a hold it has on you and how easy it is just to go get cigarettes. And we're off. Yeah. Oh, it's one of those little lyrebirds. You see that? It's like an Aussie Roadrunner, basically. Is that thing secured in there good? kind of get over the hump, it's not too bad. I find the e-cigarettes the best, although you kind of got to watch because it's very easy to just end up getting hooked on the cigarettes, or on the e-cigarettes rather. And it's very easy to go back to smoking, kind of. The biggest thing I found is I really just kind of just so over it, spending money on it and kind of being ostracized in social situations and having to just feed this habit that you just don't even know why you're doing it anymore. You know, that's kind of the road leaves a little something to be desired. Sorry folks if it's a bit bumpy and you might get some sun in your face, but that's just the reality here. Alright, just gonna roll up the window. So I've kind of been, you gotta find some distractions, some activities, you know, kind of to keep you going. A lot of it is actually pretty similar to kind of like people putting gambling or drinking or, you know, whatever, drugs. But, I mean, you are hooked. And, yeah, I think the biggest thing is, there's a lot of, Alan Carr, I believe, wrote a book called The Easy Way to Stop Smoking, which I'll post a link for, which is really good. Just it's an interesting book. He kind of really, it is a bit hypnotic and a little bit repetitive, but it's to kind of like, I think, run you in circles to kind of get your mind to end in the logical conclusion of I'm done with this. But like, I found it pretty interesting. There's some interesting kind of ways to like frame your thinking on the subject. You know, so that's kind of a good resource to have. I've been using an app, which I'll also post a link to, which I find very, very helpful to kind of track your progress and see how much money you're saving. And like I said, in Australia, it's $35 a pack, and so you can imagine how quick that adds up. It's really nice to see that going into your bank account. And like I said, yeah, it's after a couple of weeks, you actually got a nice little chunk of real money, and you know, you got to, you know, plan little treats for yourself. Like, don't try and just save it all. Like, set a little, like, at 1 month, I'm gonna buy, you know, X or Y, you know, some little thing that you want, or maybe you want to start a new hobby. You might as well use some of that money for it because, you know, you're not killing yourself. You're not wasting it on nothing, essentially. You know, at least you're gonna get something out of it, even if you're just gonna blow it on a model helicopter or something, you know. Or an RC car, like my dipshit friend decided to get in RC cars after having fucking a kid and being like in his 30s. You know who you are. And it was really fun, actually. You've seen two like adults in their 30s like giggling like little kids driving an RC car around. That's me and my buddy. Oh, this is nice. I don't know if you can quite see it in the video, but the river's just to the right of us. As always, I have my trusty wife assistant along for the ride, sort of suggesting topics and, you know, kind of forcing me to drive the conversations. It's pretty much just normal. It's just like hanging out with a video. And I got hit for that one.
So are you actually saving the money or just tracking your app?
What's that?
You're actually saving the money or just tracking it?
Well, both really. You use the app to track the money you're saving, but also like saving the physical money is quite nice, I find. So yeah, just setting yourself up for success, and you know, and if you are vaping, it's important that, like, you know, if it breaks down, if you can't get your juice for it, like, it's important to just, you know, you're not gonna go back to smoking. You know, that's where you have your gum and stuff, you know, or just tough it out. You know, it's should be a means to an end kind of thing. I know for me, like, even, you know, I'd love to be able to have like 10 cigarettes when I'm drinking, but I'm just gonna smoke the whole pack and then I'm gonna buy another pack. I quit for almost a year. What's up? Okay. This is nice, beautiful. Right along the river. And so I've quit and just gone right back to it. When I was drinking, I thought I had it licked. It's like, oh man, I'd love to have a cigarette. I haven't smoked for like 8 months. And yeah, I've been smoking since then. That's been 3 years ago, 4 years ago or something. So it's, yeah, it's very easy to creep back in your life. So I'm happy to be rid of it, and I'm done with it for good. But I kind of had to get to the mental place where I could just put it to bed, because people are always going to be smoking. It's like quitting drinking. Like, it's always going to be around. So you just need to get used to it and just learn to deal with it and get your own head around it, because, you know, it's a decision you made for yourself. You know, biggest thing is too, don't quit for someone else. Like, you got to quit for yourself. You know, if your wife wants you to, that's all fine. Your family wants you to quit. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you kind of have to be, you know, in the end, it's just you. It's easy to just cheat, you know. Get a fucking pack of cigarettes at work. She's never gonna know, or maybe she will, but, you know, or he will. But, you know, in the end, it's just you, and you have to be done with it. And if you're not done with it, don't even bother. I mean, that Alan Carr's book, you're supposed to read it while you smoke, which I found really interesting. You know, it's not part of a program that you quit and then read the book. You actually just continue what you're doing, living life, and then, you know, basically, up to 80 here. You're just living life, and then, you know, reading this book, and then you kind of, at the end of it, you're supposed to quit. So, a little bit of a different approach. And Alan Carr's easy way to stop smoking. What's that?
What do you do with anxiety?
Yes. My wife, the biggest thing for me is the anxiety. Are we still rolling? Yeah, we're good. The biggest thing for me is the anxiety of quitting was, and not having cigarettes, and just like the whole thing. You get in this cycle, you know, you're basically in an addiction cycle. I think it's about an hour for the nicotine to run out for you to smoke another cigarette. Which is why I think they originally put 26 in a pack or 25 in a pack, because you would smoke like one an hour for 24 hours and it would take you just into the next day. Really evil how they actually like figured it all out, and you know, they know what they're doing a lot. So the anxiety, not to get off topic here, I found to be the hardest thing to get over, which I find the e-cigarette helps a bit, and I bring nicotine gum. I don't even use it. I just bring it, you know, and so I found that to just kind of like chill it out, so you're not worried. You're like, oh, I'm gonna freak out, and after a while, it kind of, you just get your head around it. Like you realize that your brain's just tricking you into smoking, and your brain's a cunning bastard, and the smarter you are, the smarter your brain and subconscious is at tricking you into things. Some of the smartest people have the worst addiction problems because of it, you know. And, you know, their own brain will trick them into doing, oh, you know, you're fine, you know, you deserve it, you know. And, yeah, so I found that's a good way to deal with the anxiety, you know, of the whole thing. Yeah, it really is a hell of a thing. It's no joke, and it's so easy just to go buy another pack of cigarettes. It takes 5 fucking minutes. You know, it's like if they had vending machines with fucking heroin in it. You know, and you got some poor bastard trying to quit heroin, sweating in the corner. I mean, once you get your head around that, it's not so bad. I really do honestly believe that. And, you know, so yeah, if anyone else is quitting right now or thinking about it, fucking hit me up, man. Let's do it together. Let's talk about it. Like, I know, like, I don't know you, you don't know me, whatever, but, you know, if you're having a tough time, like, you know, I have a tough time. It's been a fucking shitty month, you know, but I've tried to find some positive ways to deal with it. One of them was starting this YouTube channel, actually. So, you know, if someone else is in that same position, you know, just hit me up, send an email, man, or whatever, you know, and, you know, maybe we could talk about it and share, you know, success stories and failures and whatever, because, yeah, it is really hard, and I find having really negative people in your life that are just bitching at you about it is not the solution. So if you have like a partner that's really supportive, like my wife has been absolutely magic about it, and you know, I've had some pretty grumpy moments, we'll just say that, and she just kind of looked the other way on it, and I always make sure to apologize, but you know, you'll get stressed, you'll have a few little outbursts, you know, you just don't call it the C word, you know. Just try to avoid that, which actually in Australia isn't really as big of a deal as you think, you know, but still, you know, my wife's Canadian, so she doesn't play that shit. C word's still a C word when you call her it. She's fine with everybody else, but... 60. Ooh, little 60 action. That was probably so pumpy for people. They're just like, ah, you savage. So, yeah, this is more of a topical video. I actually want to do a real talk on something, because it is supposed to be driving and jiving as much as I love the scenery. It's good to, speaking of staying on topic, yeah. So now we're down to a little 40 section, which is always nice and fun. So basically I'm coming up on, my wife asked how many cigarettes I have not smoked. I'm coming up on about like 800 and some cigarettes not smoked. And I haven't even hit a month yet, which is just astounding when you think about like 800 fucking cigarettes piled up and, oh, it goes down a single lane, eh? It's random and dodgy. Sorry, I got distracted with that single lane. But yeah, 800 cigarettes not smoked, and yeah, like I said, it's, you think about just a pile of cigarettes, just smoking through them. It sounds kind of savage. So, yeah, like I said, hit me up. I think the anxiety is the toughest part, and just the stress and stuff like that. But you're really just forcing yourself into a stress cycle, which is something I realized reading that book. Like, you know, once you're out of that cycle, you feel so much better. You know, and just little things the book mentions, that it's really just a smart book. And believe me, I'm not getting sponsored by this guy or anything, but yeah, what's the other thing I was gonna say? And yeah, just to get out of the stress cycle and the addiction cycle that basically you're causing yourself. I mean, the point that he made was that, you know, you think that like you can't get through the day, you know, and I was like that. Christ, I go out like 2, 3 in the morning and grab smokes to make sure I had them from work. You know, I couldn't hardly go to bed if I didn't have cigarettes. That would like actually keep me up, you know. I'd be like, oh, I should grab a pack now, make sure I have them, you know. So it's yeah, you're honestly, you just, you know, and that's the power it has, you know. I mean, they've engineered these things. They have scientists that work for them, you know, and engineer these things to be like in your life, you know, and just, you know, I mean, they've taken something like natural tobacco, which really isn't like all that bad, and they super concentrate it and add like 60,000 things to it, and like, you know, and I find a lot of that people focus on the nicotine. I find personally, I feel like there's a serious addiction to all the other stuff that's in there, and it takes a while to get all that crap out of your system. So people often focus on like, oh, the nicotine's out in a certain amount of time, but like, you know, your body's also used to like 5,000 other chemicals going in there, you know, which is, you know, sorry about all the glare, it's crazy, you know, which is something, you know, God knows what the, what is it, the half-life of that crap is, you know, benzene and freaking formaldehyde and all that crap, so, you know, once you get it all out of you, I'm starting like week 3, I'm feeling really good, so, and yeah, like I said, I'm just done with it, you know, and, the other thing I found is I was starting to find, because so smoking is so, unaccepted now, I found it very, very isolating socially. I mean, if you have friends that smoke, that's fine, but I mean, you're constantly always having to go out, and you know, you're during a meal and you have beers, you're always ducking out and breaking up the conversation, and you know, it's your wife's waiting for you. Like, my wife never smoked, so it's yeah, it's very isolating socially, and people are always giving you shit, and you know, yeah, as you can tell, I you know, I'm just really over it and over the whole thing. And you know, like I said, it was always the anxiety that held me back, and really like just had a lot of problems, but for some reason I just kind of got my head on straight and kind of got my mind wrapped around it a lot differently. And then yeah, like I said, I never, if I'm gonna go have a, you know, the biggest thing for me is drinking and smoking, so I'm going for a few pints. No, we're at 20. So yeah, I'll close off, like, just set yourself up for success. If you're going for a few pints, you know, don't think in the back of your mind like, oh, maybe I'll grab a pack if I need to. Just bring your gum, bring your vape if that's what you're gonna do, and yeah, just hit that and away you go. So anyways, I'm gonna cut it off here. Yeah, stay tuned and talk to you next time. Like and subscribe.